Hello, guys. I am live. So the truth is, my stepfather, Dale North, really got off sexually from torturing me. And basically, I've never been that delusional. I was being fucking tortured, gaslit, and that's the truth. The truth is, my mother and stepfather, and my father knew, and he was just basically I was fucking tortured by my mother and stepfather. You know, they say, "Oh, were you abused?" Probably. I wouldn't say tortured though. I wouldn't say you were tortured. Did you have a bad relationship with your stepfather? Yes. Was he trying to intimidate you? Yes. Was he probably getting sexual pleasure from your suffering? Probably. But I wouldn't say you were tortured. Um, you know, Somebody says when your stepfather dominates and yells at the dog, it's really a metaphor for the torture and abuse that has been done to you. And somebody says, unfortunately, you're becoming like Dale. You know, and let me go over this artwork right here, Nefarious Intentions. I'm like, just take accountability and admit there were nefarious intentions with the pharmacological abuse. They got off. It was torture. They say, no, there wasn't nefarious intentions and their intentions were good. But I simply don't believe them. They're sadistic monsters behind their masks. They're deceivers. There's no point to arguing because they lie. They'll just manipulate, gaslight, deny reality, refuse to take accountability, and attempt to rewrite history. So there's no point to arguing with them, but they're lying. But I'm going to change the topic here a little bit. I'm going to go on to this one. So I go to a convenience store in my car. I'm listening to music created by rich and famous pop stars. They claim to have suffered tremendously. I can relate to what they're saying. But no one empathizes with and cries for me. These pop stars claim to be alone. I'm alone. Please, God, someone help me. This song is causing throbbing depression. Save me. And the last one is my mother's green bunny. This one's a little bit more sensationalistic. Otto Greenberg, who's a low functioning mental patient, who's a caricature of me at times, but this one's obviously more sensationalistic. The feminist says, all men are the same. They are only interested in one thing. They're like dogs. Otto says, not me. I want to just be friends. I am your BFF, your ally. And Otto goes to a slumber party with the feminist. Otto is just one of the girls at the slumber party. And Dr. Natural says, your way of competing with other men is by being just a friend. But you want sex too. So basically, Otto is interested in sex, even though he thinks he's just this feminist's BFF and ally. Somebody asks me, did I ditch Dr. Copland? Actually, I didn't. I didn't officially ditch Dr. Copland yet. I have him tomorrow, actually. I don't want to say the time I have him, but I have Dr. Copland tomorrow, and my mother's forcing me to go. I don't know if he'll fire me, but it looks like I'm seeing Dr. Copland tomorrow, which I don't want to. I mean, but I have an appointment with Dr. Copland tomorrow. Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't want to see him anymore. I feel like I was over medicated. I feel like I was pharmacologically abused, and he prescribed those medications. I want to fire him, but my mother won't let me. Major Vinus TVS. Do you know who the real monster behind the mask is? Who TV? Who's the real monster behind the mask? Are you gonna say me? He says Dr. Garrett. What makes you say that? What makes you say that? What makes you say it was Dr. Garrett? Somebody says Dr. Garrett filled your head with nonsense ideas. It was malpractice. Um, yeah, I mean that's certainly a theory. I believe Dr. Garrett. I mean, I don't know. Do you think he had nefarious? I, I don't really know what to say. Um, I mean, Dr. Garrett's approach, his cognitive behavioral therapy approach, is definitely a little more warm and comforting than getting just tons of medication. It's like, oh, take medication. Where Dr. Garrett listens to you, he empathizes with you, he discusses with you. I don't know. Somebody says, "You trust Garrett?" No, Garrett. Do I trust Garrett? Towards the end, his whole demeanor towards me changed. Towards the end, he started getting cold. I feel like Garrett left me in July of 2024, but towards the end, his whole demeanor with me, got really cold, and you know, I feel like this is just based on my memory of it. I feel like we started off good. I felt like I was making progress, and I don't know. It's about a year since I left Dr. Garrett. Yeah, it's in 2 months. It's going to be about a year. So he says Dr. Garrett drew you into a false sense of security. So he says, can we talk about the way your mother curses you out? That's messed up. No one should have to endure that emotional abuse. Yeah, my mother definitely abuses me emotionally. My stepfather intimidates and abuses me too. And so it's just what I have to put up with while living at their house. I'm very much the passive one. So he says, Dale makes me walk on eggshells. Yeah, yes, he does. He tries to intimidate me. He tries to make me walk on eggshells. He tries to make me be alone in my head. Major Vindia says, people are quick to defend my mother, but that conversation reveals her true character. Yeah, my mother's a monster behind her mask who had nefarious intentions, quite frankly. My mother is putting on a facade. She's a monster behind her mask. She really is. It's obvious. My stepfather is too. But even if I was tortured by my mother and stepfather, which I feel I was, It's my responsibility to create a life for myself. It's my responsibility to get financially independent and my responsibility to get out of this house. They say, Andrew, if it was really such a hellhole living here, you would do everything in your power to get independent and get away. You know, if you were really living in hell on earth, you would do everything in your power to make money so you could get the hell out of here. Somebody says, I think social media is my ticket to riches and fame, but really it's just a ticket to psychosis, slipping further and further away from reality, and pouring my life down the drain. Somebody says, Andrew can function as an independent adult. He can't do things on his own, or he would. So he's kind of like imprisoned in hell. He's kind of frozen in hell. He's got a stepfather who's abusive and makes him walk on eggshells and is bullying him. He's got an abusive mother, and he's frozen in this environment where he's getting tortured by these two monsters, basically. So Major Vinny says, exactly. I'm just getting abused. I mean, that's the truth. That's really the truth. I'm just getting abused by my mother and stepfather, and I can't function as an independent adult. And I'm like their verbal and like they're the person they're intimidating and taking their anger out on. I'm like their whipping post. I'm like their punching bag. They don't punch me, but that's what I am. I'm like their verbal punching bag. You know? No, my mother always curses me out like that. She tries to act nice on camera on social media. She puts on an act. She puts on a facade. But behind her mask, that's the real mother cursing. The real her is the cursing monster. She puts on a facade though. She's wearing a mask. She's a phony. My mother's just basically a phony. I'm not going to read the conversation, but you could go back and watch the video. It's called "Conversation with My Parents." My mother got off from torturing me, and so did my stepfather. Somebody says it's really an eye-opening shocker. She is as horrible as I always thought, and I always knew that. Yeah, no, my mother's horrible, and so is my stepfather. I think Dale is responsible for pharmacological abuse. I think he's responsible for bullying me. My mother obviously sacrificed my mental health for her happiness. So she knew my stepfather was bullying and torturing me, but she did nothing about it. And my father was just absentee, and he knew and he did nothing. So I was just getting abused. I was just getting sadistically abused by my parents. I even suspect maybe Dale did hate me prior to the intergender wrestling. I feel like he's hated me as far back as I can always remember. Since I feel like he's hated me as far back as I could always remember. So maybe he's never liked me. So he says, realistically, Andrew, I do have a psychology degree. Is it possible Dale hates you because you take the attention away from him being special needs yourself? I don't know exactly why Dale hates me. I have a suspicion it's related to the intergender wrestling. It could be that I take the attention away from him, But he just tries to intimidate me. He tries to make me be alone in my head. He tries to put me in fight or flight mode. He's very much torturing me. He makes me walk on eggshells, yeah. So Mrs. What is it? He just tries to bully me. He intimidates me with his body language. He's just a bully. He's just a bully. He just tries to like his body language. He tries to just make me feel small. He tries to scream, and I just shake. He's scaring me. He intentionally scares me. He walks into me. He's just a monstrous bully. And I just sit in my room alone in my head, no friends, no romance, listening to music. That's basically what happens. You were talking about Dale, my stepfather. So basically, I was tortured by my mother and stepfather. It's just a reality. They refuse to take accountability, but it's the truth. And what are they going to say? Yeah, we're sexual sadists who were trying to kill you while creating a facade we were helping you. They're just never going to take accountability for it. But it's becoming increasingly obvious it's true. So he says, do you think Dale is possibly homosexual? Maybe he's sexually attracted to me. I don't know. That's a theory. I know he was like really gay for Clay Aiken, on American Idol. So maybe he is gay. I don't know. Maybe Dale's gay. I don't know. It's possible. He was really gay for Clay Aiken many years ago. Somebody says, you do look like a young Clay Aiken. So he says, that's hella gay, man. Yeah, he was like a really big fanboy, almost like really gay, for Clay Aiken. It was just really interesting. This was many years ago, though. This isn't recent. Somebody says, Andrew, you're more like Tom Hanks. Thank you. Is that a compliment? Isn't Tom Hanks involved in Epstein's Island, or is that somebody else? Or is that Bruce Willis? I don't know. I don't want to be compared to somebody who went to Epstein's Island. I don't want to be compared to somebody who went to Epstein's Island. So he says, do you see how Andrew's mother treated him last night? Yeah, no, she's an abusive monster, that's for sure. Erie says, your mother was out of line. So he says, your mother was horrible. So he says, what was your mother saying? Do her. She's like, I don't know. My mother was just abusive. Somebody wants me to recap the conversation. Okay. If you really want me to, I'll read the conversation here. So, conversation with my parents. My father said, wow, let's forget about your parents' love and everything they do for you every day and what they have done for you in the past. Unbelievable. I said, just admit the truth. My father said, same stuff, different day, week, month, year after year, every after year, over and over, all the same. Will it continue later today, tomorrow, next week, next month? My father said, Andrew, we have to get you back to taking your medication with me every night. I said, just take accountability and admit there were nefarious intentions with the pharmacological abuse. My father said, no, there wasn't. My father said, Andrew, we have to go back to your taking medication with me every night. I said, you were sadistic monsters behind a mask, deceivers. Admit it. Stop lying. My father said, tell me the truth. Do you believe that? I said, there's no point to texting. You'll just manipulate, gaslight, deny reality, refuse to take accountability, and attempt to rewrite history. You're just incapable of being honest. My father said, sad face. I said, have a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I said, I don't want to get wound up before bed. Stop texting. My mother said, get out of my home, you evil sicko. My father said, yes, everyone is telling you the truth. Stop bearing false witness. I said, I sincerely hope you're being honest and didn't have nefarious premeditated intentions to pharmacologically abuse me. I guess believe you. Toggle the emotional switch to off. My father said, this is why you need the mood meds. My mother said, you will be in a group home, but house. You've scared or attacked or pushed all who care away. You alone cause you refuse health. Please stop meds. 911 on speed dial. I am fucking done. Don't call, don't ask for food, nothing. Prick, evil abuser prick. My mom said, fuck you, get out. My father said he refuses to take the medication that has been prescribed. He wants the delusional hatred feelings. My mother said, we're here daily, help you, feed you, care for you, and you trash us all. You've beaten us all. Nobody did anything but give you love. Best doctors, money, shelter, but you beat us. So he stopped taking in front of you? He's gone then now. Gone, done. He's drinking Red Bull too. He needs group home. He can't be trusted. My father said, no, he needs to take the medication in front of me every night again. My mother said, we are too old. He's gone if he stopped meds. I thought he was. He ain't on correct meds either. He knows it. He'll be very sad, but he did this. He did. My father said, same stuff, different day, week, month, year after year, over and over and over. All the same. Will it continue later today, tomorrow, next week, next month? My mother said, if he's off meds, he'll crash. 911 time. He knows it. Did he take tonight? If not, I want him out now. I don't care if in street. Enough of this BS. Enough. I said, yes, I took my meds tonight. Just leave me alone. Let me relax before bed. My father said it's his choice to not take the correct medication. He does not want to help himself. His choice. He does not want to get better. He's gaslighting us and lying. My mother said, so no meds? He stopped the Abilify? I said, no, that's not true. Who the hell said that? I said, I want to stop the Abilify, but I haven't stopped it. I'm taking it. My father said, how come he doesn't want to stop the delusions and hateful rhetoric towards everyone? My mother said, it better not be true. On 10, he trashed home Thanksgiving. Off, he's gone. On the 10, he trashed home on Thanksgiving. Off, he's gone. Please ask your your caseworker to leave. I'm done and I want you to stop. If you want to stop meds, you're in the street. Nobody wants to be around madness. You'll be in New York City mumbling to yourself. You think you have control of this illness. Look at yourself. My father said he's a hate monger. My mother said, look back 3 months ago, off. Off meds, you are on speed dial, added to complete madness, making no sense. Go back, look. How stupid can you be? My father said, question. We do everything for him. However, name one thing he has done for us. My mother said, you are harming your mind. You can't see it. I said, okay, enough with this texting. Good night. My father said, tell me the truth. Answer the questions. My mother said, torture us, beat us to a pulp, hit you, trash us every holiday, cruel to all of us every fucking day. Did he take his incorrect meds? I need to know now. I said, I'm taking the Abilify 10 milligrams. I fucking told you already. My mother said, in front of us, now and going forward, every day. Otherwise, you're out of here. Don't you curse at me. You're a guest in my home. Bob, did you see him? I said, I'm going to bed. Have a good night. Somebody said, Christine went off. Yeah, she really did go off in that conversation. So he says, I think Christine is as nuts as him. The same threats over and over. That was intense, Andrew. Thank you. Specimen Andy says, you're perfectly sane. This is a game changer. So he says, does your dad still have life insurance on you? Yeah, I'm not really sure. So he says, can you ask? Yeah, I guess so. So he says, have you talked to Copland about Christine's outburst? I'm seeing Copland tomorrow. Yeah, I want to fire Copland, but my mother is making me see him. My mother's making me see him tomorrow, so I'm seeing Copland tomorrow. Somebody says, you should report Christine for abusing a vulnerable adult. Well, let's say my mother and stepfather got locked in prison. What would I do then? I mean, I would not be functioning as an independent adult, flying off to Hollywood superstardom. I would be so scared I wouldn't know how to function. You know what I mean? I would be just lost. I wouldn't know what to do. You know what I mean? So let's say my mother got locked in prison and so did my stepfather. I'm like, who's gonna cook me fucking dinner? You know what I mean? What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? I wouldn't be flying off to Hollywood superstardom, billions of dollars. I'd probably be in the homeless shelter or a psychiatric hospital or someplace like that. Somebody says, you might get a huge payout. Somebody says, you could eat out every day. Somebody says, sell their house. Somebody says, sue for the house and kick them out. I don't drink Red Bull. I don't know where my mother even came up with that. I don't know where she came up with I'm drinking Red Bull. She's like making shit up. She just makes fucking shit up. She's dramatic. I don't know where the fucking Red Bull even came from. I haven't drank Red Bull ever. Maybe maybe once in my life. I don't drink Red Bull. I don't know where the hell she came up with that. She needs to put the crack pipe down. I don't know where. It doesn't matter. Somebody says, call your mother and ask where she came up with the Red Bull. I don't drink Red Bull. So he says, maybe she's the one drinking Red Bull. No, she can't have caffeine because of her heart. I don't know where she came up with fucking Red Bull, but somebody says she's trying to set you up for a hospitalization. Probably. She probably wants to be as dramatic as possible to get me locked away. Because if I'm drinking Red Bull and and I'm the craziest to crazy, of course they're gonna lock me away. But I'm not. She's just making shit up. I don't drink Red Bull. Somebody says Red Bull is something that can lead to a hospitalization, but I don't drink it. I don't know where the hell she came up with that. It's bullshit. Somebody has a name like Brain Dead. Are you calling me Brain Dead? Like, I don't appreciate being called Brain Dead. You know? Somebody says, "You're a vegetable mind, Andrew. You're a vegetable mind." Somebody says, "He's not. It's just a screen name." Somebody says, "He's not wrong, though. He's not wrong. Abilify is a neurotoxin." Yeah, I don't want to be on Abilify. I want to be like Dr. Natural. I want to be like Dr. Garrett. I want to be like Joanne Greenberg. Recover from schizoaffective without the use of psychiatric medications, man. To be honest with you, I mean, if my parents weren't literally forcing me to take the meds, I would try to recover by being natural again. I would come off all my medications if my parents weren't literally forcing me to take my meds. I would literally. I mean, if I had independence, I would come off all my meds. Somebody says they won't kick you out though. Now my mother might. All right, guys. What's for dinner? I had hot dogs for dinner. Nathan's hot dogs. So he says, "I like the shirt, Andrew. Thank you, Brain Dead." So he says, "It's a Freddy Krueger shirt." So he says, "Erie's having hot dogs too. That's great. That's great." All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get going here. Thanks for watching. And peace out. Major Vinny says, do an hour. Well, I got a headache. I'm running out of things to talk about. She says, we want an hour, Andrew. We want an hour. I've done over 30 minutes. So what are you gonna do, Andrew? I guess the best thing to do is try to get independent. You know. So he says you should write your congressman about Dale. I don't even know what to say really. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get going. Peace out. Thanks for watching.